it's Skylar, welcome back to my channel. I have the book out again. So, you guess it's going to be something from this book. Basically, this morning, I've been feeling not myself. And basically, two videos come up and they cheered me up a little bit. And you know how now and again I like doing tagged videos? Well, this was a tagged video with a difference. And I felt, because even though I wasn't tagged in it, James Higgins, which is DVD Collector 1974, and Ian Forhaball, or basically they done this video, and James said anybody can do it. So I'll tell you what it is. Basically, this is a tagged video. You can either use your YouTube name, and basically from the letters of your either your YouTube name or your real name, where obviously I put my middle name in. So yeah, it's basically like my favourite films, and then I'm going to be tagging a couple of people at the end. So I'll tag, I think, maybe 3 or 4 people, and then they can carry on the chain. So obviously my name legally now is Skylar Raya Bronson. So I'm going to be using that. It would have been really good if I'd done the Skylar Loves Gory movies, because it would have been a bit more interesting. I might do that at a later video, just to see what favourite films I do have using them initials. So anyway, we'll start with the letter S for Skylar. And the film I've picked, for the very first film I've picked, everyone knows that this is one of my ultimate favourite films. It is, of course, Savage Street, starring Linda Blair, Linnea Quigley, John Vernon, and also John Farnham does most of the soundtrack to this. It's one of my, it's right up there with my favourite movie soundtracks of all time. So I don't have to get into it. Letter K is Killers to the Beast, starring one of my absolute favourite actors of all time, even though she doesn't act anymore, which is really disappointing, because I feel that she is one of the most underrated great indie actresses around, and that's Melissa Renee Martin. She stars in a film called Killers to the Beast. Great film, you need to watch it. It's not your typical horror film, but it is, sorry, my hands are going. It is a great film, and you need, if you are into your horror and you're not in it's, if you're not into like slashers or something like that, this is a film for you. Why is a disturbing movie that I've put on my list, and I've only seen it once, but I can't remember the full concept of a story. The only thing I can concept of is a girl being dragged away. That's what I can remember from the movie, and it is, of course, Yellow Brick Road. Which brings me on to L, Lady Snowblood, the original. Basically, if you think Kill Bill is like the original sort of films going along them lines, it's not. You have to go to, I think it's 74 or 76, for a Japanese film called Lady Snowblood. And what's her name? Mika Kaijo, or Miko Kaiji. It sounds something like that, but her initials are MJ. And She is the Lady Snowblood. She plays it excellently, and I don't think there should have been any remake around it. But even though Kill Bill is a good film, but it doesn't suppress to Lady Snowblood, without a doubt. So which brings me on to A. And I've picked A Clockwork Orange, which was in my top 10 firsties. So I don't need to go in about that. Which was now on to my middle name, which is Raya, which is the letter R, which is Riki-Oh, the story of Ricky. One of the most gorgeous, fabulous, well set out films I've ever seen in my life. The gore is fantastic. One of the scenes where he just punches the fella and he just punches him here and his fist comes out of the mouth. That is just amazing scene. A. Audition with Ehihina, but I pronounce it as Ihishina. I don't know why, or Shina Ishi. I was always pronounce it, but I pronounce it as Ihishina. I just like the way it sounds. And one of my bestest scenes from that is where she gets the piano wire and she's basically cutting off the ankles. But it's one of them films that you can't get your head around it the first time round. You need to watch it again to get the gist of the film. Video Nasty. It's called Island of Death. It's set in, I've got to think now, I think it's set in just outside of Greece, and they're on about they come to this island and weird and strange things start to happen. I think that this film is very, I don't want to spoil too much about it, but I want to say that it's an underrated Video Nasty. It's alright, but it's not the greatest Video Nasty. It's in the middle. That's all I'm going to say. American Mary, just this story about a girl called Mary Mason. She's a medical student and... Right, just let me think it right. She's a medical student, then she gets raped at a party. It's with the college teacher. So she gets raped. Then she goes and does all medical stuff underground. She does a woman to make her look like Barbie. She puts horns on the Soska sisters' heads. Then she chops somebody's arms off. It's one of the better disturbing films out there. So that's my middle name sorted. Now we're on to the last name. B is quite easy, Beetlejuice. Don't have to go into it because everyone knows the whole Beetlejuice story. And apparently they're bringing out Beetlejuice 2, which is going to be coming out in 2018. And they're starting filming on it. I can't say right now because I'm not too sure, but yes, they're filming it. Which brings me on to Rec. It's a found footage film. Now, I don't like found footage films, but Rec, if you've seen the quadrilogy, which is 4 films, I'm not too sure, but I have heard, but I'm not 100% certain on this, but they might be making a 5th Rec. I hope they do, because the 4th one, it was alright. It wasn't, like, my favourites were the first one and the 3rd one. I prefer them outright. If you want to know more about that, I'll probably do a quadrilogy review about that, so I'll do that more often. O is an easy one. It's The Omen from 1976, which is O. you know the typical backstory, but I will say this, my favourite scene is where somehow the priest gets... somehow there's this stake that comes out of nowhere and that's the word, impales the priest. That's one of my favourite scenes in that film. And Nightmare Before Christmas, don't have to go to, because everybody knows that Jack Skellington is one of my favourite, it's my favourite Disney character of all time. Used to be Belle and Ariel, but it's now Jack, and has been for quite a while, so don't have to get into that. Saw. What can I say about Saw? It is actually, how can I say it? Besides Phantasm, I'm trying to think of the words. It's like series, favourite horror movie franchise, that's it. Phantasm and Saw are my favourite horror franchises of all time. I just love the way that it's like different games to like, and you fight for your life. It's amazing. The first one is Piece de Resistance. That's what I will say about that. O is Open Graves, starring Elijah Dushku. I can't remember much about the film because I've only saw the film once. It's another one of them films, like going back to Yellow Brick Road. It's one of them sort of films that I need to watch again so I can fully remember. Which brings me on to last but not least, the letter N. I have spoken highly of this film, right? And I'm not really a 2010 plus movie person, as I have said before. The movie genres I really like are more 70s, 80s, early 90s, possibly some late 90s and early 2000s. Now, I'm not really into the whole now horror films, but when I saw this, I was actually blown away by this film. The kills in this are superb. The acting, it's alright, but Luke Evans steals this film for me. And of course I'm on about No One Lives. He plays an evil character so geniusly. You think he's the good guy, but he's not. He ends up being the bad guy, and oh my goodness, that's all I can say. I think I've done a review on No One Lives, and if I have, it's back in my, I think it's in my favourites. Yeah, it is in my favourites. So I've already done a review about it, so I don't have to go on about it. So that's my favourite films using the letters of my name. So obviously I am going to choose Laurie Holt. As always, I've got to choose Laurie Holt. I'll choose Ross Wilcock, because he now and again does YouTube. So when he's free, get doing this tag video, Ross. I'm tagging you. Also, I'm going to be tagging, who else am I going to tag? Miss Horror Chick, which is Priscilla. I'll tag Ali Walker. I'll tag Trey Passer, which is Paul. And I'll also tag Byron, which is House of Carlock 1985. And also anyone else that I already haven't mentioned that wants to do this. Go ahead and have a crack. And even if you want to just do your YouTube name, that's fine with me. We're not like exactly saying, right, you have to do your proper name. We're not saying that. So, of course, I'm going to end this here. Stay gory, have pleasant dreams. And I will see you all soon, because I have something I really need to speak to you about. Ta-ta for now. Bye.